Hello, and thank you for clicking on this video. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the logic behind two organizational models that I've created and used over the past 4 to 5 years to keep track of my regimen and workout routine. I've gotten great feedback from my last Trello video, and I'm happy to share more on the topic to help others potentially organize their mind a bit better. My name is Nate Mendel, and I am the creative director and co-founder of Oki. Oki builds custom websites for free. No jokes, no games, no gimmicks. Oki is hands down the best deal on the market to get a stunning modern website built for your brand for free. Now without further ado, let me jump right in. Organizational prowess is a reflection of a thinker's mind. Your ability to think clearly will manifest itself in the ability to organize accurately and simply. If you are unable to think clearly, compartmentalize topics, or divvy things up, then you'll find yourself having a hard time organizing workflows, plans, regimens accordingly. Organization doesn't have one way. Good organization evolves along with your knowledge, the circumstances of the progress you're organizing, and all the variables that go along with it. In this case, it'll be a push-up routine or any workout routine for that matter. In 2016, I dedicated myself to pick back up on an old push-up regimen that I had given up just a few years prior, and with perseverance, I've been doing it nonstop since then. So we're talking about 4 to 5 years now. If you want to learn more about my philosophies regarding push-ups and the routine in general, I'll invite you to check out my personal channel. It's called Nuchy Mendel, Nuchy-Mandel. I'll put a link in the description below. My goal in organizing, the said routine was twofold. First of all, accountability. And secondly, I wanted data. I don't like leaving things up to chance, maybes, and speculation. I like hard, unhindered data. I want to be able to look back and say for certain that I accomplished X, Y, and Z. And so I took to Trello. Here in Trello, you could see how I started. I started obviously in August of 2016. And this is how I had decided back then to organize it. Now I have since evolved from that. I went from Trello to Google Sheets or Excel, and I'll show you why. Because this is the process. We have to use the tools that we have available to us, and sometimes we're able to organize effectively using one tool, but not, more effectively using another one. So first I had, simply stated my rules for my own regimen. So I had put 3 rules here. I said you cannot do push-ups ahead of time, right? Because I didn't want to, if you're feeling very motivated one day, I didn't want to be able to do it ahead of time. But if you miss from a day behind, you could catch up, right? So if I missed the 27th of August, on the 28th, I could do some extra and catch up on them. Within a given month, you can catch up even though you missed an item one day, right? Once the month is over, you cannot catch up, right? So those were my rules for my own regimen, and I really, so what I did was I created a list for each month, and there's so many different ways to do it, right? You don't have to create a list for each month. You could create a card for each month, and each list could be another year, right? There's so many ways to do this. That's the beauty of organization. Now Trello recently added the template, create a template option. So with the newer version of Trello, we would create a card and then save it as a template, and then when we wanted to create another card, we would create it from a template. This board doesn't have any template. Create a new template card, give it a name, and then we're copying and pasting. But what I did is I created the months and every single day in the month. Now I found it very tedious and annoying to name the date. So in further years, like when I got into 2017, say, I started just doing 1, 2, 3, 4. But even this, I had to name manually. So if this was my first card, I would then go here, copy with the checklist, and create card. But then I would have to rename this to day number 2. Save, right? So this was very, very tedious. But the first year that I did it, I was still doing dates. And in the card, so I created a card, and in the card I had a checklist with the items that I wanted to do. Now I call it a push-up or pull-up routine, but I was doing more than that at that point. I started out with 20 push-ups 2 times a day. See, 20 push-ups we got here. Let's uncheck it so we can see it clearly. We started out with 20 push-ups a day, 8 curls. I had a 30 or 40 pound dumbbell in my house. So I'd do 8 curls each hand. So I was doing 2 sets of push-ups a day and 2 sets of curls a day. Actually 3 sets of curls a day. And with each set that I completed, I have Trello on my phone. I just jump right on it. It takes 1 second and I check it off. So now I know that was completed. So, because what happens is when you're doing this stuff every single day nonstop, it's very easy to lose track, to forget if you did your set. I still have that till today. Did I do 1? Did I do 2? It gets confusing because you're just always doing it. So it's confusing. Did I already do my 2 sets? Did I already do my 3 sets, my 4 sets? This is why you need perfect accountability. And this is why I created the checklist like this. Every single day had its own card. Every card had a checklist. And every month I would, well, not necessarily every month, but I would gradually increase. So when I got into September, I had increased it to 25 push-ups, right? So you have all the numbers. And then what I would do is at the end of the month, I would add it up and just put the total down here so you could actually see results, right? It's very important to see results. So at the end of month 1, I did 920 push-ups, 184 pull-ups, and 368 curls, right? So very important. You see the data. That's almost like the reward per se. Month 2, we're talking about 1,500, right? So it's going up. 1,800, 2,100, and over here 2,080. So I start out in August. By the end of 2016, I go from 920 push-ups a month to 2,000 push-ups a month, 365 pull-ups, and 684 curls. So, very important. You have data, you have numbers, you see the progress, you see how you're progressing, and there's no ifs or buts about it. And there's no lying to yourself, right? There's no boasting, there's no lying, because it's all right there. If you skipped, as you can see, say here in October, 0 out of 5, none of this is checked off. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days were skipped. Almost 6. So what I started doing in 2017 was I started leaving little notes why I was skipping, right? Some excuses. Put the excuses down so I know why, what was happening then in my life. But over here I wasn't, so I have no clue why. Was I lazy this week? Was I sick? I don't know. So we'll see in 2017 I started putting some notes to help identify the patterns. Why was I missing? And over here doesn't look like I missed anything here, right? So this was a solid month. But when you're doing things so routinely, life happens, things come up, things get in the way. But these 2 months seem like very strong months. That's the thing with data. So, you create your card, you create your checklist, and then, let's just say that was January. You would create a card, and you would just call it 1. You go in here and you create a checklist, and this is your workout for the day. And in the workout, you want to do, say, 30 push-ups. So you'd create that one time, and you want to stretch for 20 minutes, right? Stretch for 20 minutes. Okay, so that's what you want. That's your goal. Every single day you want to do this, let's say, right? So you create that, and then you could go over here and copy it. Or, with the new feature, what you would do, you go in here and you would make it a template. And once it's a template, you could even hide the template, hide from list. Right now the template's hidden in here. And then what you would have to do is you would just click on it and create 1, create card. Click on it, 2, create card. Now, this is very tedious, and this is what I came to find with Trello. Now, Trello does have a lot of butler and automation. If you utilize the power-ups, you go to power-ups, and if you utilize properly the power-ups that they have, there may be ways to automate this. Back then I wasn't getting into that stuff so deeply, so I didn't do that, and I was copying, and it's really annoying because Trello doesn't have the ability to put in a quantity. If Trello had the ability to put in a quantity, I would probably still be using Trello for this, but they don't. In other words, what if I want 30 of the same card? So, well, then you might say, well, you'll create the 30 and then you could copy the entire list, and that is true. But the problem with that is that every month it's going up a little bit. This one has 20 push-ups, this one has 25, right? So you can't just copy 30 days over to a new list, because then you have a full list of worthless cards. You have to edit every card. So with these kinds of regimens, with these kinds of workouts, I didn't find it convenient to organize it in this manner. But this is how I did it back then. So this is one way. The great thing is it's on your computer, it's on your phone. You just jump right in, copy. This is day 3 in January, save, copy. Day 4, save. Now, when I was back when I was doing this, there was a little bug, not a bug, but it wasn't ironed out on Trello's side. When you pressed copy and you pressed the create button, you were able to, if you clicked it really quick, it would process 2 or 3 requests. Now, when you do it, it locks the button as soon as you create one. You see how it quickly locked the button? It didn't let me create more than one. So there was a little loophole in Trello where you were able to create a couple cards. Well, they fixed that, but they didn't add the feature that allows you to add more than one copy. So really tedious, really annoying. And when you're doing this every month, year after year, as I have been, I found it to be a big headache. So this is one model I had set up. Perfect accountability. You have the numbers on the bottom, nice and clear. You see the progress. You could throw some, I throw some pictures in there. You could throw progress pictures. You could do all kinds of fun things along the way. Now let's look at 2017. How some of the things changed. So I started naming them 1, 2, 3, 4. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over here, I stopped adding up the numbers. So what happened here was that, we see the progress is going up. I'm up to 2,400 push-ups. The progress and the push-ups are going up, and over here at the end of February and March and April, I don't have any totals. So in 2017, just 7 or 8 months in, I lost my patience to count. And I did that because it's really annoying to go in here and add all this stuff up, right? There's no normal way to calculate all this. V refers to the, I forgot what that workout's called. I was doing a couple different things, V's, push-ups, curls. Very annoying to go in here. And so I was thinking, maybe at the end of each year I'll go back and count it up. But I didn't end up doing that because I had no purpose on doing that. If I ever create a project, or if I want to showcase or create some kind of presentation about this, then maybe I'll go back and add them up to really see how the progress unfolded. But over here you can see I started putting some notes. Like over here I wrote hernia surgery. So I had a procedure on May of 2017, and that is why I was really sucking here. And I wasn't able to do any of these push-ups because I had a procedure, so I was recovering. So that's why this is empty. So now things make more sense. Okay, so this is empty because I was dealing with something. And then I was throwing in some other notes along the way, like, quit smoking May 14. So I don't really remember, but maybe I was smoking steadily at that point, and I had decided to quit. Right now, I smoke socially here and there. I'm not addicted to cigarettes. So that might have been the date that I stopped maybe buying cigarettes. Shabbat refers to Saturday, which is the weekend, and I stopped later. I stopped doing my workout. That was my only day off. So in 2018, I believe I started not doing them on Saturdays. So that means I was doing it 6 days a week. Saturday was my resting day. So we'll see that when we see my new model. Again, you could put pictures, you could put little notes along the way, and you could have your totals. So this was, this is a very basic, straightforward model. You could organize any workout routine, any workout regimen in this manner. You'll have perfect accountability. You'll have an actual, virtual checklist that you could go into while you're in gym, while you're working out, outdoors, anywhere, because you could have Trello on your phone. Very convenient, very simple and straightforward. But the notion of copying the cards and pasting them and counting and all that stuff, I find that to be really annoying. So I did that 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and just this year I've been thinking more about organization and logic in general more, and I always tell people, when you're organizing anything, workflows, workouts, whatever it is, goals, right, or big projects, whatever it is that you're organizing, if there's a pain point, right, my pain point for 4 years were that I had to go every single month and copy the cards, rename the cards, change all that stuff. That was a pain point, and I didn't really allow, I didn't grace myself with the pleasure of correcting that. I just kind of lived with it, and we often do that. We very often live with our pains until we decide to put an end to it. We don't have to live with these types of pain points if there is something in your workflow or organizational process that has a strong pain point. There is a way to iron it out, and you have to think in such manners. You have to think in this principled manner. If there is a pain point, there's a way to solve it. Let me invest the hour, the 4 hours, watch a tutorial video, do whatever I need to do, solve it. I know it's annoying. It's annoying to sit and watch something for 30 minutes, for 2 hours, for 10 hours. But guess what? You invest those couple hours to get educated, to rethink something, and then you no longer have the pain point, which the pain point could otherwise last, potentially your entire life. In organization, if there is a strong pain point, there's usually a way to solve it. And if you don't know how to solve it, it means that there's something that there's a piece of knowledge that's missing in your database. You're just missing some knowledge, and you can usually pick up that knowledge very easily online. So in 2020, I'm rethinking this stuff, and I'm like, I gotta. Over the years, I had picked up on various things: push-ups, pull-ups. I had a bar indoors. My circumstances have changed, and I had come to find that I no longer want to focus right now in my life because I'm busy with stuff. I don't want to focus on other things. I'm just going to do the push-ups. For me, it's very important when I do these workout regimens and routines that I set realistic goals and expectation, right? Because, there's this saying, expectation minus realization equals frustration, right? So if you could take your expectation, remove the realization, what you've accomplished, whatever remains, meaning the amount that you didn't accomplish, equals your level of frustration or anger. Now, what happens if we take away expectation? There's no frustration, there's no anger, because you don't desire any other outcome but the outcome that you achieved. So in order to, circumvent all of that, I believe in having a regimen that is realistic according to your life. And now I'm busy with different things, and I'm in the middle of travel and moving from place to place, different things going on. I couldn't commit to the pull-ups because I don't always have a pull-up bar. I don't have access to my dumbbell, so I had dumbed it down in 2020 just back to my push-ups. I'm holding at 75 push-ups per rep, and I do it 2 times a day. So here I went over to an Excel sheet, and on an Excel sheet, things are a lot simpler. And I am currently very happy with this. Now, does this mean that this won't change in a year or 2 or 3? It may. I may find something better than this. But right now I'm happy with this. I created the months on top, the goal right on there. So we have January through December. That's every month. We have the goal underneath it. Some of them are already predetermined. See, it's already predetermined a little bit ahead of time because right now we're in May. It's already predetermined to here. So I start at 75, 75, 80, 80, 85, 85, 85. And here I could, create this goal 2 times 90. My goal is that by the end of the year I'm at 100, right? So Control C, Control V, Control V, and over here I would do 100. Now different people have different philosophies regarding this thing. Some people would try to go up faster. I'm all about slow and steady, gradually making my way up. It's not so simple when you're in the high numbers and you're doing it this routinely almost every single day to just, add numbers. It's fine and well. It's cute when you're doing a 30-day challenge to kill yourself that way. But when you're doing, 4,000 push-ups a month, every single month consecutively, it's not so simple to just jump up in high numbers. My goal is to get to 100. And then when I'm at 100, I'm going to work more on perfecting my push-ups. Right now, I'm not all about the full range and, none of that extra stuff. I'm not about doing it slow. For me, it's just all about doing it. It's just straight up, bottom line, doing it. So once I get to 100, I don't see much of a purpose in this point in my life to go past 100. So I'm going to stay at 100, but I'm going to work on better range, better posture, better everything. So this is my goal now. Now what I did was I created number 1 through 31, because the max amount of days that you have in a month is 31. And I very simply, on Excel, before I had any of these colors or any of this stuff, I very simply just copied and pasted it all over. So, say 31. So you go here, like that. And, compare this to the tedious work that I had to do on Trello. It's night and day, right? Bang. In 1 second, I had the entire year mapped out. And then what I said down here was very simply, there's 3 options when it comes to push-ups. Didn't do it, missed both sets, only did one, or did them both. So what I've opted to do is, if I did them both, I leave it empty. I'm not sure why that one was missing. Maybe I started January 2nd. Maybe that's why the one is missing. But in any case, if, and this is part of it, this is part of the logic, is using colors, labels, whatever works. And colors work very well sometimes because colors, as you can see, are very noticeable from far away. So we have like this. The grays refer to my day off, the Saturdays. So none of the grays are counted anyway. The whites refer to the days that I did them both. The purple refers to the days that I only did one set, and the red refers to the days that I missed both. And when I missed both, I have the opportunity to leave a comment. Over here, I was flying to Israel. So I left a comment, flight to Israel. So, I'm not, sometimes I'll do push-ups in the airport, but I don't kill myself. There are those people who end all be all, complete martyrdom, they're going to kill themselves to meet for me, this is not a 90-day challenge. This is a lifestyle. So I have nothing to prove. So if I'm flying and I'm with my family and things are difficult, no problem. I'll skip a day. It's fine. When you're doing, 4 times 12, maybe 40, 50,000 push-ups a year consistently, it's okay. You could go easy on yourself. So that's it. And now you're looking at an organizational chart. So what I did down here is very simple. Here you bust out a calendar, you have your totals easy. You could have you just have to minus the days off. So let's say if there's 29 days in February, right? 29 days in February minus 1, 2, 3, 4 days off. That puts you at 25. You bust out a calendar. What's 25 times 75 push-ups times 2, right? Because 2 sets a day. You put that total here. And then over here, you could put the actual. So I didn't count it up yet. I'll probably do it at the end of the year if I want to see. But over here, I can tell you if the actual is 4050 and I missed 1 day, and then 2 sets, so I missed 2 days. So the total over here is going to be, 3,900 or whatever, somewhere in that range. My actual for this month is going to be somewhere in the range of 3,900, right? It's really that simple. So you could easily create the totals down here and the actuals you have, and I love bird's eye views of things. Trello is a little blown up, a little big, very user friendly, very modern. Excel is still old school, very small, very condensed. But for something like this, very good. Very good. You get the bird's eye view, you see everything. You don't, one little scroll and you even get the totals. So that's really it. This is how I break it down in my own mind. This is how I want it on paper. And this is how I want to be able to access it at any given time. This is why I set it up this way. Anyway, I hope this helps. These are just 2 different apps that I used to organize the same routine, essentially. Anything, as I've said in my past video, anything can be organized. I'm going to make another video coming up, how I organize development projects. I've dealt a lot with web development. I'm going to show various models with regards to web development, but it just doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is in your life that you're organizing, whatever project, whatever goal, whatever regimen, whatever workflow, everything can be organized. It's just a matter of learning the principles, learning how to dumb things down. And you'd be surprised, I create systems 5 years, and I could have 5-10 years of experience with one system, and my intuition tells me something's a little off about it, and create a completely new system that overhauls it completely. But that is how you want to think about it. It's kind of like mathematics. It's very logical. Organization, logic, and math, they work off similar principles. If something's not smooth, you need a new formula. Anyway, thank you for watching. It was a pleasure sharing. Until next time, be well.